Hi guys, my name is Kelly Sasser, and today I'm going to show you guys about Google Forms and how you can use them in your classroom. The first thing you want to do is to make sure you've logged into your Google account. If you don't have a Google account, you can get one for free, and Google offers many tools for teachers to use in their classroom. So if you don't have one, I suggest that you get one. So up here in the search bar, we're just going to go to forms.google.com. And while that's loading, let me tell you some things that you can use Google Forms in your classroom. They're a great way to collect data about your students, surveys, parent information. You can even create quizzes in Google Forms, and they're self-grading for the most part. And again, a great way to do a formative assessment with your students. So as this is loading at the top, you're going to see up here in just a second all the different little templates that you can create that are pre-selected. Down here at the bottom, they're loading now. They're different Google Forms that I've created in the past. For today, we're going to go to blank document. Again, takes just a minute to load. And it automatically pops up an untitled form. I'm thinking since it's the beginning of school, I usually like to collect some parent information. And in the past, when I've had parents write down their email address, it's been difficult to read. L's look like ones, O's look like zeros, or some of them you just can't read at all. And so being able to contact parents is really important. So having the correct email address is a must. So Google Forms are a quick and easy way to take care of that problem. So right here, I'm just going to name my Google form, and I'm going to call it Parent Information. And up here, you'll see it says Saving. The neat thing about Google Docs is that they automatically save in your Google Drive, so you never forget to save something or lose anything. And if you see right here in the left, it says Untitled Form until I click it, and it automatically says what I name my form, Parent Information. Up here, there's lots of tools. Right here, you can change the color palette to suit your preference. You can even at the bottom of that select images, and you can either import your own image or use some that Google has already created for you. But let's get started with our form. So right here, question 1. There are different types of questions that you can select. You can do multiple choice, short answer, paragraph, check boxes. This one's really neat if you have multiple answers that you want your students to select, or drop down menu. I'm going to go with short answer right here because the first thing that I want to know is your student's name. And I'm going to make this a required question because I need to know who you belong to. I'm going to click Add Question because I want a second question. And for this one, I'm going to select a drop-down menu. And because the next thing I want to know is what class period I have your student. And so this drop-down menu, I'm going to go, do I have them first period, second period, third? And I could keep going and add options for as many as I needed. Again, I'm going to make this required question. And I'm going to create a third one. And in this one, I want to know your email. Again, Google knew, hey, this is probably going to be a short answer question, so I'm going to make it required. Now, what you can do from here is you can put this website on your class website. You can put it on your class syllabus. You can post it in your room somewhere. Now, a really neat tip would be to create a QR code that as your parents enter the room, that they can just scan this QR code and they can fill this form in sitting right in your classroom. If you have a parent night or an open house night, and you can start the first day of school already knowing something about your students. I wanted to show you a couple of other Google Forms that I've done before, and how the results look. So right here, I gave some of my students just a food quiz. I wanted to know what kind of foods they liked. So I created questions on favorite ice cream flavor. And again, I gave them a choice because I wanted you guys to see what the results look like. Favorite fruit, favorite junk food. So they answered these. And because it was anonymous, I really didn't need them to put their name. But if you click right here to responses, you can see what each person said. So out of these 10 people that I surveyed, 60% of them said their favorite ice cream flavor was cookies and cream. Apparently no one liked strawberry or mint chocolate chip. Favorite fruit, most of them said apple. And then junk food. So this was kind of a toss-up between candy bars and potato chips. Those are some of my favorites as well. You can even go to individual results. And if they put their name right here, you can see what each participant said. You can export these to a spreadsheet. I'm going to go up here to this math quiz up here and show you how you can turn a Google form into a Google quiz. So right here, I've created a math quiz. The first question is I always want them to put their name. I don't award any points for this. But I need to know who this quiz belongs to. So again, I just created some simple questions for some students to answer. But to turn this into a quiz, you're going to go up here to settings. Over here, you'll see quizzes. And you toggle this bar back and forth to make this a quiz. Down here, these options are when they submit it, they can immediately see their grade. Or you can leave it on where after you look at them, then they'll get their grade. They can see the questions that they missed, correct answers, point value. And again, you can click on and off these as to whatever suits your needs. We're going to go to save. So again, I had some people take this quiz, and let's take a look at their responses. This first starts out as a summary. So it gives you the average score for everybody that responded, the median score, and the possible point value range. So the people that took this scored between 1 and 2 points. That first question was just name, so that's why it's got everybody's name listed. Apparently Zach responded twice. I guess he forgot. But right here, it gives you the breakdown percentage-wise and how many people answered it correct. So out of the people surveyed, 87.5% of them answered correctly. One person answered incorrectly. Right here, 6 people answered correctly and 2 answered incorrectly, but I can see what they answered. And if I want to come up here, I can break it down by question, and it just says how many people responded, or individual results. So I can go and scroll through, like this person, Jason, missed the first question. I can see what he put and also the correct answer. And you can scroll through it like that. A neat thing to do, especially if you're going to use a Google form for parent information, is you can create a spreadsheet, and it gives you the timestamp, which is wonderful if you're worried about late assignments. It gives you their scores, and it gives you their, like question 1 was their name, so there's their name. I have that easy for me to see. And then it tells me how they answered question 1 and question 2. Okay. And I can do all sorts of sorts right here. I can sort them in alphabetical order. I can sort them by score. And again, this is automatically saved into my Google Drive, so I don't have to worry about saving it. One tip right here is you can create add-ons. Flubaroo. Flubaroo is an add-on that you can go to Google Extensions, and it will help you self-grade short answer quizzes a whole lot easier. So I've used that in the past too. I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial and can find a use for Google Forms in your classroom. Thanks for watching. See you later.